Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. I'm Pam Oliver. Well, given their dismal start to the season, it looked like the Packers defense would be the team's albatross, but they've been anything but that. They've stacked up one impressive performance after another. So what changed? Linebacker Devondre Campbell told us that we worked out the kinks, we made adjustments, we kept believing in each other. So all of that fire defensive coordinator Joe Barry conversation has fizzled. He's got that group playing at an extremely high level.
Yeah, Pam, it fizzles with the number 3D in the league. Listen to this crowd with the skull chant right now. It is rocking. What an atmosphere for this NFC North tilt between the first place Packers and the Vikings. Minnesota won the toss. They have deferred. They will kick it off. So Aaron Rodgers will take the field first. And here we go. On a Sunday afternoon, the NFL on Fox. And Green Bay will start on their 25-yard line with Aaron Rodgers. How about his last 8 games in division? 26 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Just an unbelievable number. Against the Vikings, 15-9-1 career with a slight 51-7 ratio. I mean, he's been ridiculous as usual. This offensive line playing with a rookie at right guard and Newman, Elton Jenkins has been unreal. One more week they go without David Bakhtiari, who's still fighting to come back from that ACL on the left side. Here is Rodgers on first down with a lot of time. Adams is wide open. No one near him. Into Vikings territory. Spun down inside the 40.
There was a lot of talk here, but take a look at Davante Adams. It's just a blown coverage. Eric Kendricks thinks there's another guy in the backside of that zone. For whatever reason, he doesn't carry him. But watch A.J. Dillon here pick up Harrison Smith. There was a lot of conversation. This new role filling in for Aaron Jones. Some of the pass protection. First play of the game, they tested A.J. Dillon, and he came through.
I want to cover that guy. 37 yards to Adams on the first play of the game. A.J. Dillon lined up as a wide receiver now, top of your screen. Rodgers looks the other way, throwing to Valdez Scantling. He's looking for a flag, no flag, and it's simply incomplete. There are a lot of names, big names missing in this game for both of these teams. Vikings are getting more healthy today than they've been in a while. But for Green Bay, they're missing Alan Lazard, their starting wideout, Aaron Jones, their star tailback. Merciless got hurt last week. He's out for the year. And Rashawn Gary with a dislocated elbow. They thought he would play with a brace. He's inactive. It'll be interesting to see where they get a pass rush from, but that's when they're on D. Right now, Rodgers and company with a 2nd down and 10 on the opening drive. Little flip out here to Dillon, who's looked like he had some room, but that got closed up quickly. He's got a short gain out to the 36. The Vikings defense, Greg, they're getting healthy. Some of the names you see, like Barr and Peterson, back in there today.
And it's great timing, right? You find yourself going against the best team in the conference, division rival. Playing without Harrison Smith, playing without Anthony Barr, those are the marquee names that this defense is built around. For those guys to miss and now all be back on the field together to join Eric Kendricks came at the right time against Aaron Rodgers in this offense.
There is Smith, 3rd and 8 for Green Bay.
A lot of talk about that A-gap mug. They started off first 3rd down.
And here they come. It's blocked up. Rodgers going deep down the far sideline. It's incomplete. Tried to get Valdez Scantling, but Breeland had terrific coverage.
Everybody from Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, this is what gives offenses trouble. Not a bad job by Green Bay, but you can tell Aaron Rodgers realizes he's got to get that ball out of his hand. He said, he goes, Mike Zimmer has a tendency of changing things up. And they won on the first 3rd down.
This kicking unit has really struggled for Green Bay. This is Crosby from 54. And he's going to sneak it up and through. That's a big mental boost for Green Bay to get some points from their field goal unit, which has struggled. So Crosby good from 54. Opening drive points for Green Bay. 3-0 here in Minneapolis. Well, the Packers have struggling scoring on the opening drive this year, and their field goal unit has really struggled. So that's why normally field goal opening drive okay, but they're pretty fired up because there's a lot of good things for them, a lot of positive things on that opening drive. And now we'll see Minnesota with a chance with Kene Wangu back deep. He's got a kickoff return touchdown on the year, but that's going to go over his head. And we'll see the Vikings on offense with Kirk Cousins, who's having a terrific season. The best ratio touchdown to interception in Vikings history to this point, 18-2. He's been really, really good. Now, as you pointed out in the open, though, will they be aggressive? Throw it downfield. They did it last week. Will they do it again?
Yeah, I think anytime you have success, I think last week was by and away their best performance against a quality team in LA. I think when you find success like that, week in and week out, now we need to layer on it. We need to build on it. We'll see if that carries forward today.
Against the number 3 defense in the NFL, as Pam told you about in Green Bay. Look at this. Danger. Kenny Clark almost took the snap, and Dalvin Cook is buried. Wow.
Yeah, Kenny Clark, you see where he had his eyes? He had his eyes on the motion, man. When you're trying to time up those sweeps, he jumps this count before the ball even comes up. Sometimes they can get a pre-snap tell based on some of those jet sweeps that they know the guy's motion has to be in line with the quarterback. And he was in the backfield before Cousins. He's lucky Cousins didn't get rolled up by his center.
Cousins a throw it, try to set it up to Jefferson with some blocking on the outside, and Jefferson gets up to the 29. He's got 4 yards. Here's the defense that Pam was talking about, Greg, and I love, you're watching tape, said, man, nobody's open watching them play D.
There's not. It's such a unique way, the style they play, pass coverage, and it all starts with their back secondary and the way they match. We're going to get into it as the game goes on, but it's a really unique style of pass coverage. And boy, Joe Barry has his defense playing at as high a level as they have around Green Bay in a long time.
Stokes, the rookie's been great, matched up on Thielen. 3rd down 6, pressure coming, it's picked up. Cousins sees it, unloads it. Jefferson is wide open into Green Bay territory, makes a move inside the 30. Justin Jefferson, 43 yards.
Well, we gave A.J. Dillon credit on the first series. Watch Dalvin Cook take Devondre Campbell. Bang! That's the time and the space. Wow, and it gives you time to hit who I think is one of the best receivers, regardless of age. Justin Jefferson, he is an elite receiver, only halfway through his 2nd year. But man, when your best players can be such multifaceted impacts on the team, see Dalvin Cook there contributing without the ball in his hand.
Each team with a big play to start it. It's Cook, patient, right side, gets around the edge, and a solid run by Cook, who's down to the 21. So Jefferson comes off a 143-yard week. They went a couple weeks without getting the ball. And boy, you know, you spend time with him, he's just got this electric, infectious personality.
Having a chance to visit with him, he just comes across, when you hit it, his personality, his engagement. He just has such a great way to him, a great demeanor. And I asked him, I said, did you ever tell Kirk, like, hey, man, even when I'm covered, just throw it? He goes, absolutely, every time. I'm never covered. Well, last week, the Chargers found that out. He had an incredible day.
2nd and 4, pitch to Cook, right side again. And that time, not much doing. Tyler Lancaster played that well. So for this Packers defense, you know about Aaron Rodgers and the offense. But this team, I mean, think about the last 3 weeks. They played Kyler Murray. They allowed 21 points. They played Patrick Mahomes. They allowed 13 points. They played Russell Wilson. They shut him out for the first time in his career. That's no joke.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, deservingly so, dominates the headlines. He's the marquee player not only on this team but around the league. This defense has been the story in Green Bay this year.
3rd and 5 here. Cousins looks at Cook. He's not open. Going the other way, and down he goes. Preston Smith came through with a sack, and now it's going to be a pretty long field goal.
There's just nowhere to go here. They kind of disguise the blitz, but take a look at the top. Watch how they match these routes. We touched on it a little earlier. We saw this last week with Seattle. Russell Wilson's looking, where am I going with the ball? Just not a lot of options. This Green Bay defense takes guys away, and then they clamp and they paste. even on the scramble, there's just not a lot of space in the back end.
Makes it a 51-yard field goal for Greg Joseph here. And the kick is up, and it is good. So opening drive field goals for each team. Good start from Minneapolis. 3-3 game in the first.
Download the app now and play for free.
Today's game is sponsored by Coors Light, made to chill.
That's a great rivalry. The 120th meeting. Some legendary stars and games between the Vikings and the Packers. And hopefully we get another one here today from Minneapolis. Off to a good start. Each team going down the field, getting a field goal on their opening drive. Each team getting a big play from their star wide receiver, Davante Adams and Justin Jefferson. And so that's where we are. Good to have you aboard on a Sunday afternoon. Greg, you talked about this Green Bay defense matching up. How so?
Yeah, so think Syracuse match zone, right? For anyone who's a college basketball fan, they play zone with man principles. We talked about the struggles Seattle had last week. There's nobody open, right? Everyone finds the guy in their zone, and then that becomes their man assignment. Russell Wilson has no choice but to throw it. Now they're trying to clear this play out for the best player in Seattle, DK Metcalf. But keep your eye on Darnell Savage, the top safety. They're counting on him, but nope. He's not going to bite on the cross because that's not my zone. He matches DK. Look how cloudy that window is. These quarterbacks are looking into cloudy windows. They're looking at receivers who have guys in their hip pocket. And it's zone with man principles. It's very hard to do. I'll tell you what, Joe Barry has this locked in right now.
And that's what happened on that third down. Meanwhile, they give to Dillon here on first down. Bring up a second down and 6. Rodgers floats it up, far side of the field, going deep, incomplete. Tried the same side before with Valdez-Scantling against Breeland. Good coverage again, and now there's a penalty on the play as well. Sean Hockley is our referee this afternoon.
Would you call what? Before the pass was thrown. Holding. Defense number 7. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
That's Patrick Peterson.
See Patrick Peterson here against Adams. I don't know. It just kind of looks like a bunch of bodies kind of running into each other there.
I mean, that kind of shows you the level of respect that Davante Adams got. I mean, that's against Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a tough one. Packers will take it. Brings it to 1st and 10. 4-man rush. Rodgers slings it out to Dillon, who makes the catch and then moves forward. He is such a big human being, playing without Aaron Jones today. But this is a large man to tackle.
Yeah, and Rashawn Breeland, he kind of realized that was a little bit of a business decision there. That is a big guy in space. These edge defenders from Minnesota, the DBs, the safeties, I mean, look at this guy. I mean, Aaron Jones by no means is a small guy. Take a look at Dillon there. That's a big dude to tackle out in space.
You know when you have names for each individual leg that you have something there.
Absolutely.
Become a much better pass catcher as well. On second down, fake to him. Rodgers has all day, now gets it out to Dillon. High throw, good catch. Spin move, he's got a first down. Just like I was saying, he's become so much better at catching the ball. He never did it at Boston College. That's a real good play.
And he's the first to acknowledge it. You know, every time you ask him or you ask the coaches what sticks out the most about Dillon, you know, you expect, oh, he's a load, he's big, he's strong. They say he's a phenomenal catcher of the football. He just never really had the opportunity coming out. I mean, that is a hard catch. That is a hard catch in the flat. Looking over his head, Aaron Jones is fired up. Got the glasses on, cheering on his buddy.
Dillon gets a break. Patrick Taylor in for the first time. First 2 NFL rushes came last week. He'll get another one. Looking for some room on the left. Not much there, as he was corralled quickly by Armon Watts. Game break time. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Washington, Carolina. Cam Newton making his first home start in over 2 years for the Panthers. And how about that? Connects with DJ Moore for this 10-yard score. Panthers up early, 7-0. Kevin?
I guarantee you right now, Bank of America Stadium in Carolina is going ballistic.
It's amazing.
That city is on fire right now with number 1 back under center. It's a day that nobody ever thought would come.
Rodgers says, let's go on the fake. Being pressured. Slings it. Knocked away. Trying to get it to Davante Adams, but Breeland again. He's been stellar so far in the early going.
Oh, Breeland let Rodgers get away with one there. Rodgers kind of throws this one back across the middle on the naked. He thinks he has Davante Adams, and Breeland does a nice job coming from his zone corner spot. He knows he should have had one.
Griffin jumped off sides. Now we'll see if there's movement on Green Bay.
False start. Offense, number 62. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
There you go.
I warned.
It's on the center, Lucas Patrick.
Did you hear what the referee just said? That Mike called him. He said, I warned you. So what they're calling is, it's too sudden, right? We see the head nod when they go on silent count. He must have warned him earlier in the game. It was too dramatic of a head. Watch his head. I don't know. It looks like what they do every time, but you heard the head ref, Hockley. He said, I warned you. I warned you. He's telling him right now, you got to slow this down or I'm going to call it.
Can't hear a thing in here right now. Got to get inside the 40. Penalty flag flies. Rodgers in trouble. Gets rid of it. Taylor got a long way to go, and he's not going to get there, but the penalty.
Yeah, Everson Griffin was lined up a yard in the backfield. I think they're going to call him. They're going to give him the 5 yards right back. The ball's right in front of us here at the 50. His half of his body was over the...
Offside.
Yeah.
Defense, number 97, lined up in the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
And penalties have killed the Vikings. 31st in the league at penalties per game.
Can't see him there. He's at the top of your screen. He's the right defensive end. You can't really see him at the top, but...
There you go.
He's off sides. His entire face is over the goal. His face is over the ball.
So they give him another shot. Third down and 9. Four-man rush. Rodgers still looking. Can't find anyone. In trouble. Ball is loose. Still loose. I think Rodgers got it back. Armon Watts got the strip sack, but Rodgers was able to fall on it, and Green Bay will be able to punt.
Yeah, it looks, he hits Elton Jenkins, his own player, the left tackle. He tries to, I think he's just trying to throw the ball out of bounds. When he pulls the ball to throw it, he hits it off the elbow of his left tackle. He's lucky he recovered that.
They only rushed 4 that time. He couldn't find anyone. He had a decent amount of time to throw the ball, and then Watts will likely get the credit for that play since he was closest. And now it will be a punt. Jorquez comes on for Green Bay. Low snap. Nice job of Jorquez. Gets it off. High kick. And Westbrook will call it and fair catch it right around the 15-yard line. 3-3 game. Vikings have the football when we're back.
5G network of the NFL, Verizon, and by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Still have a chance at $100,000 of Terry's money. Just scan the QR code now. Enter Fox Super 6's NFL Sunday Challenge for your free chance at $100,000. Free to play. Just download the app. Back here in Minneapolis. 3-3 game as the Vikings get a hold on defense. Look at the center position today. Mason Cole has started the last couple because Garrett Bradbury on the left of your screen there, he's their starting center, but he's missed the last 2 games with COVID. We think he's going to rotate in there some today. You may even see Cole on the right side of that line. They rep that a little bit in practice. So we'll see how this Vikings line does today. They've had some issues with penalties, especially Udo at right guard. Second possession for them on the fake. It's Cousins. Going to dump it over the middle to Cook, but Campbell right there and a short gain. They're going to give Cook 2.5.
Yeah, and on the first drive, we saw Kenny Clark kind of take Mason Cole back. One of the big reasons when we talked to Clint Kubiak, when we asked him, what are you going to do at center with Bradbury coming back? He goes, here's a guy that's missed a lot of time with COVID, takes a wear and tear. I don't know how I feel about putting him in play one and go ahead and block. Kenny Clark was a big reason they made that decision because of the amount of respect they have for him.
Yeah, Bradbury again has been the starter, but Cole was a starter for Arizona before coming here. So see how the game goes on. Here is Cook left side, and not much. Played well by this Green Bay defense. Bring up third down. So trying to get their playmakers involved. Cook 3 carries, just 4 yards so far. We saw Minnesota convert the big third down on the first drive on the big play to Jefferson, but on the year they're only 26 in the league on third down. Big reason they've been in a lot of third and longs. This is only 3rd and 4. Four-man rush. Cousins lofting one. Thielen, good hands, hauls it in. First down, Minnesota at the 40.
Justin Jefferson gets a lot of the love around here. He's a special player. Watch the route by Adam Thielen. I think people kind of forget this is a high-level receiver in his own right. Takes Kevin King, kind of spins him in a circle. Cousins looks out there and he says, I like my matchup. I'm going to let Thielen just go win one-on-one. He comes through for his guy for a big third down.
2-time Pro Bowler. 5th in the NFL in receiving touchdowns. Madison in the game at tailback. He'll get his first carry here today. Short gain on the left side. Interesting talking to Thielen on the field before the game. And I said, you have a lot of family here? He's from here. He said, yeah, a lot of family today. My wife's whole family's here. And ironically, they're all Packers fans. So I told them, you cannot wear anything Packers today.
He said, as long as I'm playing for the Vikings, as long as I'm wearing purple, there's no yellow and green in my house.
He said, when I retire, you can do what you want.
Absolutely.
These are just fans, not them, but I thought that was pretty funny. So the Thielen house divided today.
That was a great line.
Cousins all day, loading up, going deep. Jefferson, he's got it, sailing into the end zone. They mark him down at the 1.
The old 77 route, you're going to get a high corner by Jefferson and a low corner. You see Thielen, they're both wide open. A great throw. Let's see if he gets in. He's reaching. It's hard to tell. Did his knee hit? It's hard to see from that angle.
Really close. I mean, in real time, I thought he was in. But it's so close. And remember, on the field, they said he was down at the 1.
I mean, he had Thielen open. He had Jefferson open. Putting those two guys to the same side and working two-man combinations. Really well executed.
It's ultra close. Right there, you'd have to say that he's not in. That is what they ruled on the field. And there's going to be a challenge here. We'll see. See if Jefferson got in. Nonetheless, it's a 56-yard play. Back after this.
Game Pass, now for just $9.99 a month.
The call stands that Jefferson was down at the 1. Probably the right call, especially because that's what they called on the field. You see it's very close, but nonetheless a 56-yard catch. He's over 100 yards in the first quarter, and now 1st and goal for the Vikings at the 1. Give it to Cook. Walks in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Watch Ezra Cleveland. Every run play has the one guy who needs to win. Everyone else can tie. Watch 72, the left guard. I mean, he takes his guy 2 yards into the end zone, Kevin. What a block, what a drive. So far, this Minnesota offense, we touched on it earlier in the call.
You said
attacking,
being aggressive. Well, they are going down the field. Jefferson's had multiple big plays. Thielen's got a big play. And that extra point is up and no good. So the extra point is missed, takes a little luster off, but Jefferson, 3 catches, 140 yards in this first quarter. And you just spent time talking about the Green Bay D, how they've been so good. Well, they let up some big plays today. Just look at Jefferson. He's breaking Randy Moss records here. 11 100-yard plus receiving games first 2 years. We're midway through year 2. We're first quarter of this Week 11 game. Here's what happened on the play. How did he get so open?
And if this looks familiar to the Vikings faithful, it's because it's very similar to the concept, that iconic play, the Stephon Diggs. So Jefferson takes the high corner, but you see the confusion here? He's not sure which angle he needs to take here, the rookie Stokes. And once he makes the wrong decision, it's a great pass. He gets behind it. The old 7-heaven play. It's an iconic moment here for Vikings history. It's a little different version, came out of a 2-man set, but nonetheless, a very similar result.
By the way, Jefferson had a Randy Moss t-shirt on in warm-ups today, so he knew exactly what was going on. So extra point miss, just the second of the year by Joseph, but a 9-3 Minnesota lead here in this first quarter. That's always good company when you're with Randy Moss and you got a half a season left. I mean, it's really amazing what he's been able to do. This is the shirt I told you about, what he was wearing warming up, the Randy Moss shirt.
And you touched on it. His personality just jumps out at you. Even talking to him on the field pregame, you just tell he loves what he does. He's got a great energy to him.
Now what's Green Bay's answer? Here is A.J. Dillon, try to get him going, and it takes more than one to bring him down after a 4-yard game. Kendricks was there to lead the charge.
Eric Kendricks is a player. Sometimes I think he gets lost in the shuffle with some of the other top Mike linebackers, but what he can do versus the run, you saw the amazing pick he made last week against the Chargers. He's a unique player at that Mike linebacker spot.
Rodgers just going to get it out to Dillon in some space, makes a move, but a nice tackle there as brought down by Patrick Peterson. And now comes that matchup, the Mike Zimmer, Aaron Rodgers matchup, if you will, on this third down.
And Rodgers didn't shy away from it. He said, listen, sometimes we chase some ghosts. The anticipation of the Mike Zimmer third down blitz package is almost as effective as the package itself, because teams spend so much time preparing for the blitz.
They come with 4 here. Rodgers fires one. Valdez-Scantling has this one. He's been trying to target him early. That time he connects for a first down.
Mike Zimmer let us know that he was going to have Harrison Smith play some 3 safety, kind of play at nickel a little bit. It's the first time he's out there on Valdez-Scantling. Nice first down conversion, but keep your eye on that. Harrison Smith can play the middle field, the free safety, center fielder. He can play the 8th defender in the box. You saw him there playing nickel, getting him back. He's the chess piece that really makes this whole defense work.
Missed the last 2 games on the COVID list. Final 7 seconds of this quarter. They'll pitch out to Dillon. This play doesn't exist. Packers moved.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Royce Newman, the rookie right guard. And they'll wind the clock, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter, and it will. We've got some action. Justin Jefferson going deep. He's over 100 yards. Dalvin Cook into the end zone, and it's 9-3 after 1. Rare and start. And Greg Olson called for the Stars to get involved, be aggressive. Justin Jefferson, 104 yards receiving. Dalvin Cook has a touchdown. 9-3 as we start the second. Green Bay, their football 1st and 15. With the fake to Dillon. Rodgers has a lot of time. Fires deep downfield. Just missed Valdez-Scantling. He had a step too. And Rodgers just a hair off on the throw.
Yeah, you see him here working against Mackenzie Alexander in the slot. Does a nice job at the top, using his hands to separate. He's got a step. Just slightly off. And, we asked Aaron Rodgers this week, Kevin, we said, how much has the missed practice time? Since late October before the Arizona game, he's only practiced 1 day. He said, it doesn't really bother me, but I wonder, just because he can get by, does it impact the other guys around him?
Rodgers steps up in the pocket, now just going to run.
So often, an elite level quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, he's seen it all, right? He can talk through some stuff and get on game day and be on it. But sometimes for a receiver, for a back, offensive line, being out there with your quarterback, being out there as a unit, makes a big difference, regardless if it's training camp or week 11 of the season. So it's something to keep an eye on until they can get some more guys back in practice consistently.
He missed a couple weeks practice with COVID, missed the game, and he's been dealing with a toe injury. That's why he missed practice this week.
Look, we got a 4-man set. We got 4 guys, a 4-by-1 formation.
3rd down and 12. It's a 4-man rush, but it's blocked. Rodgers going deep. Valdez-Scantling is open, and he's got it. He's been trying to get it to him. That time, the big one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a bomb for 39.
Here we called it. They started in a 4-man set. He's going to run the high-angle corner. Gets the defender kind of spinning around. Xavier Woods on the hash, the safety, thought he was going to run a post, and that time Aaron Rodgers does not miss him.
Well,
nice play design, really well executed.
Clearly an effort to get him the ball. He missed 5 games with a hamstring injury. This is his 3rd game back, and the most active he's been in the offense for sure. Dillon gets it, left side, runs into a wall. Give him a 1.5 yards. Get another game break. Let's go back to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Eagles up 7-0 on the Saints. Jalen Hurts looking. Eventually says, I'll just keep it for myself. His 2nd rushing score of the day. Eagles leading 14-0. Kevin?
All of a sudden, the Eagles are jumping into relevance here.
Give Nick Sirianni a lot of credit. We saw him earlier in the year, and they were kind of finding their way. These last few weeks, Jalen Hurts is playing well. The offense is starting to roll, especially on the ground.
The Saints are without 7 offensive starters today. That obviously doesn't help them.
That's not ideal.
Taylor in the game in the backfield. Play clock at 2. Rodgers near side. It's Adams. Good catch, and then floats near a 1st down. We'll see if they spot it. I think he got it. Looks like he does have a 1st down.
One of those examples, Kev, we've talked a lot. They show that AA gap. Harrison Smith is on the edge. Well, Harrison Smith came on the pressure. Aaron Rodgers saw it. He worked away from pressure. He knew because the pressure was coming from his left. He's got one-on-one on the right with Davante Adams on Patrick Peterson. Simple pitch and catch.
Taylor gets it. And not much against this Minnesota front. We showed Aaron Rodgers, a guy who normally takes the play clock way down. He doesn't snap it to 3 seconds. Why is that relevant today against the Vikings?
So many defensive coordinators, and Mike Zimmer being one of them, they set their pre-snap and post-snap coverage looks based on a certain number on the play clock. It could be 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's week-to-week dependent on what the offensive tendencies are. So Aaron Rodgers, who's notorious for also milking the play clock, he wants to unmask the coverage, take it down as late as he can in the clock, and force the defense to play their final coverage and get out of their disguise.
Play clock at 4 here. Rodgers pressured up the middle, rolling away and just throws it incomplete. Valdez-Scantling was near it, but just avoiding the pressure. And it brings up 3rd and long.
And that's something Minnesota's going to have to do today. If they want to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, it can't always be a manufactured pressure look. The blitzing, the linebackers, Harrison Smith. Sometimes they've got to help their secondary and just bring 4. And you saw on that last down, they can get home with 4. Takes a lot of pressure off their secondary.
Third down. Rodgers in trouble. Throws it away. There was pressure coming up the middle. Sheldon Richardson got it. And here comes the field goal unit.
This is a TE stunt. The tackle's going to go out. The end's going to go. The backer's going to drop. And watch the pressure that they're able to get off this stunt. Comes all the way around. Hey, if they can create that chaos up front with only 4 guys, pick stunts, line games, keep their linebackers and DBs back.
This will be a 32-yarder for Mason Crosby. Hit a 54-yarder on the opening drive. And it hits off the post, and it bounces forward. It's no good. Another miss for Crosby, his 8th of the year. Wow, it's been a big problem all year long, and especially the last few weeks, and it continues. Made a long one early. That one goes doink. No points for the Packers. Well, this field goal unit as a whole is 2 for their last 6 on field goal kicks. Crosby missed a short one, 32 yards, but it's not just him. It's Bojorquez who's the holder. They got a new snapper a couple weeks ago, Steve Wertel. They released Hunter Bradley, and they have yet to figure it out. Crosby's 2 of his last 6 on field goals. It's been a big problem for Green Bay. Here's Cousins in the offense. They're going to take advantage to the tight end, Conklin, who's wide open over the middle. So let's go back to the kick and the whole operation. Anything off on this whole thing?
You know, it's always hard to tell. You know, the snap could probably be a little tighter. It's a little wobbly. But it looks like the hold is clean. It looks like the laces are clean. I think sometimes when a guy, especially the caliber of Mason Crosby and his career that he's had, sometimes it just becomes a mental battle. You know, you're thinking about your plant. You're thinking about every element of the game. When you're at your best, you're just playing free, and it comes natural.
Cook. And he's had not a lot of room to run so far on a short game. I mean, Crosby's really an all-time Packer. 15 years. He's had one off year, really. 2012, ran a bunch of misses, but 8 misses in half a year. That's a ton.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. You know, sometimes it's the slightest thing, especially in some of this. Talking to specialists, kickers, punters, those guys are very particular. They want their snapper. They want their holder. Sometimes you throw one element of that out the window and then kind of bring in change, and it can throw off the entire operation.
Cousins, pressure from Kenny Clark right up the middle. Cousins, back foot. Jefferson's open. Incomplete. And a penalty flag. They got lucky because the throw was short, and they're going to get the flag because of it.
The reason this ball's a little short, KB, is because watch Kenny Clark.
Defense number 26. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Mason Cole kind of gave ground early. He anchored. Give him credit. He sat down. That's no easy task. Darnell Savage just got there early. He mistimed it. You mentioned it. The ball was underthrown. It almost feels like in the NFL now, if you throw a deep ball and you underthrow it, you can almost guarantee a PI. If the defender doesn't get his head back and find the ball and adjust, most of the time you see the contact happen before, and it's a pretty easy call.
By the way, he was open if it was thrown well, too. Just FYI. Here's Cook inside the 20. And Cousins off to a raring start, by the way. 6 of 6, 140 yards. And then he gets that penalty. Getting it to their stars. Cook has not had a lot of room at the touchdown run of a yard. But Jefferson having a monster impact in this first half. On the fake. Pressure from Clark again. Cousins sees it, throws it incomplete. Boy, Kenny Clark playing like a maniac right now.
Watch Kenny Clark. I know we sound like broken records here. They're having a hard time blocking him up front. I mean, he has been a dominant force. He doesn't quite get Cousins there, but you got to wonder at some point, does Bradbury come in? Former first rounder. I know he's coming off COVID, but right now Kenny Clark's giving Mason Cole all he can handle.
Yeah, starting to get a little dicey inside as Bradbury watches on. 3rd and 5 here. 4-man rush. Cousins fires. Intercepted. It is picked off by Green Bay and Savage, who's got room. He falls down across the 30. And we do have a penalty flag down, too. So let's see what the penalty is as Savage has the pick if it stands. It would be only the third of the year for
Personal
Cousins.
foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 96. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Obviously huge on Kingsley Keke. It negates the interception. Let's take a look. Oh, no question.
Yeah, it's helmet to helmet.
It's an easy one.
You know, but it's an easy call. I mean, we capture it great. You know, you go high on a quarterback and you make contact with his head or neck area, it's going to be a flag 100% of the time.
How about that camera shot by Mike Tatamir? That is as good as it gets. Big mistake by Green Bay. Cook up the middle and tackled by guess who? Kenny Clark. Then everywhere. So now it is the number 3 defense of Green Bay, number 3 in the NFL. How do they respond after that big penalty to give Minnesota new life?
Yeah, and red zone defense for Green Bay started out as a little bit of an adventure early on, but they've gotten better defensively in the red zone. If they can keep that trend going here, because right now they're on the ropes.
Second and goal. Cook can't find anything, and again Green Bay making a wall at that defensive line. Lancaster was ready. They are playing well up front.
They are, and Minnesota's committed. They're committed to getting Dalvin Cook the ball because they feel the threat of him running does have an impact on ability to get the ball down the field. They're running into a really light box. There's only a 5-man box type by Green Bay, but you mentioned it. Lancaster, Kenny Clark, they're just winning their battles up front. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Also a hold, by the way.
Yeah.
But he made the play anyway. Third and goal for the Vikings. 4-man rush again. Cousins gets rid of it. Thielen makes a move, and he's in for the touchdown.
You're going to see here the releases. Adam Thielen's going to outside, and it's an option route. They use the motion to build this 2-man stack. He gets the leverage on Kevin King inside. It's a clear breakout read. Ball's a little behind him, but a nice adjustment by Thielen. Again, great play design, getting your 2 best players, your 2 best receivers in a 2-man combination and let them work.
What a turn of events. Savage had an interception, would have ended this drive, but Keke with the roughing the passer penalty. Minnesota takes advantage to Thielen, his team leading 8th, and the Vikings offense exploding out of the gate, 16-3.
It's time to start Saturday strong.
The earlier long completion that set up the touchdown was out of a 2-man stack. They're going to build that same 2-man stack now. All they're going to do is they're going to bring Thielen in motion. These 2 guys now need to combine and communicate for this option route by Thielen. See the releases? This is the leverage Thielen wants. Inside leverage, I break out. In outside leverage, I break in. It's the motion. It's the pre-snap building of the formation. And then 2 of your best players just running a great 2-man concept that's very hard to the banjo and in and out.
And then let me add, you showed the plays last week, how they were able to stymie Seattle. They locked down on their receivers. These receivers so good, Thielen and Jefferson. It's almost like they stepped up to another level. No disrespect to the great, Lockett and Metcalf, but this is a display early.
You said it. Kubiak, Cousins, this offensive staff, they are putting on a display on how to attack what's been a very, very good pass defense for Green Bay.
So the note on Minnesota, they've led by at least 7 every game, which is hard to believe that they're under 500. Here they are again, up by 13 early. Packers, Rodgers, all day, can't find anyone. Penalty flag flies, and it's incomplete, and this may be a hold.
Holding. Offense number 77. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Anytime you're trying to take a shot down the field, Minnesota's secondary was all over it. Rodgers had nowhere to go. He was trying to hit Davante Adams on a deep crosser. The second you hold on to that ball, Kev, puts those offensive linemen in a tough spot to maintain those blocks. And typically you see penalties as a result.
He's had time today, Greg. Yeah, multiple times like that. He just hasn't had the shot. Minnesota secondary doing a nice job. And now a 1st and 20 after the penalty. They have a draw, and Dillon is in trouble. He's got nowhere to go. They blitzed it, and it worked. And now a 2nd and long.
Yeah, they're counting on Dominique Daphne. They call it dig this guy out. But Kendricks just pulls, they call it pull the trigger through the A-gap. He's got no chance. The only thing you can do there is there's a call the tight end can make where you can squeeze it, and the guard would go down, the tackle, but it's a lot to communicate, especially on the roll, on the road. It's just a better defensive call than an offensive call.
Rodgers again looking, again can't find anyone, and it's incomplete. Pressure was coming, he got rid of it to Adams, and this Vikings defense is heating up.
We spent a lot of the broadcast hyping up this Green Bay defense. Well, take a look at Minnesota. A little cover 2 here. Kendricks is running down the middle. But take a look. Where do you want to throw it? Just, you know, that guy looks open, but Harrison Smith wants you to throw it. It's cover 2. Deep shell. Keep the ball in front of him. There's nowhere for Aaron Rodgers to go right now with the ball. This crowd is ripping.
They get the play off 3rd and forever. They're going to run it to Dillon. He's got to get to the 35, and he's going to get nowhere near it. And the Packers will punt it away. Just think about the last couple of series. Green Bay has a long drive, nearly 6 minutes long. Mason Crosby misses a gimme field goal. Then the Vikings go down the field. Cousins throws an intercepted. It's negated by a penalty on the hit on the quarterback. They score a touchdown, and then the holding call, they're backed up and they're going to punt it away. I mean, really a big couple turn of events here in the last few series.
Things can flip fast in the NFL, and if you don't stop that snowball, the longer it lasts, the harder it gets.
Booming punt. Westbrook backs up, fumbles, gets it back right around his own 10, tries to get to the edge, and does so out around the 20-yard line. The Vikings not playing like a team that's under 500 right now, trying to get back in this division race. Defense frustrating Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams in the Packers offense. And on the flip side, Kirk Cousins, 24 straight game with a touchdown pass. He's also got a perfect quarterback rating so far. He's been terrific. 7 of 8, 150 yards and a touchdown. Now, granted, he had an interception taken off the board by a penalty, but you don't see it now. And the Vikings with a chance to put the hammer down here early, get it to Thielen on the outside. And he's got a gain of 5 yards. As Eric Stokes is there. So far, just consider this Green Bay defense, Greg. I mean, they've allowed 34 total points the last 3 weeks. And Minnesota has 16 on the board. They've been in control here with Cook. Even though they haven't got the running game going, tries to get to the edge. It's going to be a couple yards short of a first down. When you think about Green Bay playing in division and Matt LaFleur and the job that he's done, I mean, it's pretty remarkable, right? I mean, first of all, his first 2 years, they've won 13 games, been the championship game twice. That's unbelievable in its own right. But in division, they're 13-1. The only loss, a game that we did, I know you were playing, but the rest of our crew did, at Lambeau last year when they won that game. Dalvin Cook had 4 touchdowns. But you see, if they get a single takeaway, they're 27-0. They have been incredible under Matt LaFleur. This is a position they're not normally used to being in. Kind of getting bullied in this game so far, as Ham is not going to get there, though. And that'll be a 4th down and 1.
Yeah, they're going to mark him short. They tried to kind of sneak him. They started Dalvin Cook in the backfield. He motioned out, leaving Ham as the only running back left. Tell you, Green Bay ever needed a stop, that was the drive. I mean, that Minnesota's offense was starting to roll. They were finding their playmakers, spreading the ball around to them. Big 3rd and short stop.
Sure, certainly felt like it. Rodgers will call a fair catch out around the 26-yard line. Packers looking to get on track. Minnesota with the 13-point lead here in the first half. Back in Minneapolis on a chilly Sunday in this incredible stadium. Cold outside, but nice and warm in here, and the Vikings have been hot. Kirk Cousins has a touchdown. He's been real good. Justin Jefferson's over 100 yards. Aaron Rodgers, he hit Davante Adams for 37 yards in the first play, and the offense has been pretty quiet since. But here, Equinemius St. Brown gets into the action on a slant. He keeps on chugging with a big gainer. First down and more as he's up to the 43, picks up 17.
And I like coming out on first down and trying to establish a little rhythm in the passing game, right? Get a completion on first down. Now you see them, they're up at the line, pressing the issue. Sometimes when your offense is just not quite clicking, the best thing you can do, change your tempo, get up on the line, call it, and go.
Four-man rush over the middle. Quick throw. There's Adams, has his third catch of the day. And there's a penalty flag as well back behind the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if this one's going to hold up.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense number 77. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Second one on Billy Turner. That's a 6th penalty on Green Bay. They're the least penalized team in the league. Minnesota the second most. Kind of script has been flipped today.
They're coming at inopportune times. You know, these are drive killers. You find yourself now, instead of ahead of the chains on second down after an easy completion, you find yourself 1st and 20. Well, against this defense, these are hard positions to find yourself, especially when you're not really on the top of your game.
First and 20. Blitz is coming. Rodgers to nowhere. Valdez-Scantling was the nearest in the area. Got another game break. Back to Carissa.
Thanks, Kevin. Greg, you're going to love this. Your guy Cam Newton, already the most popular man in town, gets even more popular with this 24-yard score. He also has a passing touchdown today. Things are rolling. Panthers up 14-7.
Is it 2015 again?
It's unbelievable. I mean, you can't write that story. There was a time, KB, where people didn't know if he was ever going to come back to the organization in any capacity, retire, whatever. Now he's running for touchdowns.
Pretty wild stuff. Here, 16-3 Vikings. Rodgers tries to find anyone, and he does. DeGuara, the tight end, has a catch out across the original line of scrimmage, and now at least a makeable third down, albeit third and long.
Yeah, smart play there by Rodgers. That's right. That's understanding the game, understanding the position. When you find yourself in a long second and long situation, the rule of thumb is let's try to get half to put ourselves in some sort of makeable. In that situation, you throw a long 30-yard incomplete pass. Now you're in third and long. They found themselves now 3rd and 7. A lot more manageable, but now they can dial up. You see all these guys in here. Harrison Smith could either come or he could run back. He's going to run back.
Blitz does come. Rodgers sees it. Perfect pass to Randall Cobb, who's got a first down in Minnesota territory. That might be the best throw of the day from Rodgers, and the drive continues with a 15-yard gain.
So what they want to do is they want to bring all your attention over here and turn the protection and then bring the pressure off the backside. You see 24, Mackenzie Alexander, bring pressure off the left. Rodgers was not fooled. He sent his line into the pressure. He finds Randall Cobb for a huge first down after overcoming the earlier penalty.
And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Packers trying to creep back in this game. The Vikings have played well, up by 13, but Green Bay, this is so great. Mike Zimmer told us that I told the fellas that this week I'm going to be even more grouchy than normal. Why? Because the Vikings have kind of shot themselves in the foot. They've allowed 52 points the final 2 minutes of the first half. It's an incredibly high number, most in the league. And so here we are, 2 minutes to go. Minnesota up 13, with Green Bay on the move. Give it to Dillon, who gets a carry for a short game. And I'm curious, you've got a field goal unit which has really struggled. They're 2 of their last 6. Crosby has a short miss today. How does that change your thinking, if at all, on this drive?
I think you find yourself, if you're Matt LaFleur, in an interesting situation. To your point, I think you're going touchdown here, right? I don't know how confident anybody is on attempting a field goal. We've touched on that. But then there's also the element of making sure you don't leave Minnesota a lot of time, right? So you want to be aggressive, but you also don't want a bunch of incompletes to allow them to stop the clock and get another possession before the half. So there's some gamesmanship and clock management going on right now.
It's 4-man rush. Rodgers comes near sideline. Daphne's got the catch and turns upfield and is out of bounds after picking up the first down.
going to be interesting to see what Mike Zimmer does here as this game clock continues to wind down. If they find themselves in a 2nd or 3rd and long, are they inclined to use a timeout, try to steal another possession for Kirk Cousins in this offense who's had some success early, but you're going to have to win on 1st down to give yourself a chance for that.
Dillon, and he's ridden down to the ground, gets down to the 25. Anthony Barr, one of those Viking starters, back this week. Patrick Peterson did start this game. We saw that Barr back, Smith back. Peterson started, but he's not in there now.
Yeah, and I think Barr and Harrison Smith, those are the 2 key pieces that they've been missing. Eric Kendricks has really shouldered a lot of the burden defensively, played out of his mind last week against the Chargers. He's got to be thrilled to have those 2 guys back.
2nd and 5. Pressure coming. Rodgers just gets rid of it, dumps it to Dillon because he had nowhere to go. Armon Watts brought the break pressure, and now a 3rd and 5, 38 seconds to go in the half.
Find themselves in an interesting situation here. You know, you touched upon it. They don't love it, but they try to block back. They pull the guard on like a little gap play action. Feels the pressure, and he knows he can't take a sack. He just dumps it. Watts is calling for a hold. He didn't get it.
Third and 5. Rodgers with time. Now escapes. Will he try to run it? Throws across his body. DeGuara! He's got it! Touchdown! His first NFL touchdown!
First career touchdown, but he's a seasoned vet. This isn't his route. He sees him scramble, and he goes into scramble drill. Keep an eye on him. He's running down versus Kendricks. Watch. Now he just scrambles. He sees his quarterback working to the other side of the field. He redirects. Wow. Everything's going against you. Your Hall of Fame quarterback makes an incredible play.
And the extra point is up and good. Josiah DeGuara, 2nd-year tight end, had an ACL tear last year, missed most of the season. First NFL touchdown at a huge time, and now the Packers are back in it. And while we have a moment, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
What are you doing over there?
Writing up my Thanksgiving shopping list for the week.
You got turkey?
Yep.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing?
Yep.
What about highlights of the Bears and Ravens?
Shoot, no, I don't have that.
Don't worry, we got you covered on the Verizon halftime.
Huh. Are those produce or dairy? What? What did I say something wrong?
Love the eye roll, Kurt. So that's a huge drive for Aaron Rodgers. Remember, the defense got a 3 and out, and then they ate up a lot of the clock, go down the field, and then DeGuara with his first NFL touchdown. And as you pointed out, a beautiful play, but really the most important thing is with Greg Olsen, the tight end in the booth, the Pro Bowler, tight ends catch touchdowns.
That's what we do
when you're here.
We don't care which team.
No.
I tell the guys in pregame when I see them, I don't know who it's going to be, which side. Tight ends catch touchdowns when we're calling the game.
How about Rodgers? You know, we know he's got that toe injury, but just buying time here.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I think they got a little out of sorts in their rush lanes. There's no edge defender to the offensive left side. That's what allows Rodgers to break, contain. Nobody's better throwing on the run than Aaron Rodgers. That little wrist flick, his feet come off the ground, and he throws an absolute bullet to DeGuara. You never forget catching your first touchdown in the NFL, KB. I'll tell you, he'll never forget that one right there.
Vikings have 2 timeouts. They do have time here with 30 seconds to go. Cousins coming near side. Oh, what a catch. Osborne holds it in. Not down, getting up, and then dragged down by Savage. Now we'll see if he held on. It looked like he did.
Let's take a look here. No. The point hit the ground, yeah. Point hit the ground, it looked like.
That would have been a 40-yard hookup, but going to look at that and have to think it'll be incomplete.
It's the same play. That was 7 heaven. We talked about it. The Stephon Diggs iconic touchdown. The earlier play to Justin Jefferson. That time they ran it out of the more traditional sense of 3-man.
So listen to this.
Look at this.
Matt LaFleur can't challenge it. It's inside 2 minutes. They're looking at it upstairs. We saw a run replay. It's pretty obvious it's incomplete.
Thought so. Let's take a look at this.
I mean, it bounced. I mean, there's no question. And they're giving him this. This is huge.
Interesting.
I can't believe they're letting that stand. And now there's a whistle. Gosh, I mean, that was easy to see the first 10 seconds.
The previous play is under further review.
So Matt LaFleur is saying, come on, got to take a look at that one. While they continue to look at it, why don't we take a moment and hear from our friends at State Farm and Pepsi.
So if I was a primetime game show host, could I stick with the Rogers rate?
Yeah. State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
Thanks, man.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
This is for all the NFL fans who can't talk smack because little ears are listening. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
They keep showing this, and there's still no decision. I don't know why this one's so hard. It's pretty obvious that it was not caught. But we're still waiting. Wait, what's good at Dean Blandino? Dean, am I missing something here? I mean, this looks obvious to me.
Yeah, I was surprised the game wasn't immediately stopped. They could do an expedited review. The pass is incomplete. He doesn't have control. It hits the ground. Surprised it's taken this long.
Dean, I just had to check. Sometimes, I feel like I'm losing my mind. So Dean Blandino, our rules expert, says, and now they finally are moving this play back. Meanwhile, Rodgers has gone to the tunnel. You don't expect Green Bay to have the ball back, but
and apparently they think he needs. Some security here in Minneapolis.
Just a chance to say hello to our law enforcement officers here in Minneapolis.
He's chatting with them.
All right, so, I mean, obviously that's the right call. And now they will take it back to the original line of scrimmage. Minnesota, with 25 seconds left now, will get their timeout back because obviously that play was incomplete, so they'll get it back. And again, they still do have chime here. 25 seconds, 2 timeouts for a shot play to get in field goal range. Don't forget Verizon halftime show coming up. Cam back in the saddle in Carolina. I know Greg will be watching those highlights. All right, 2nd down and 10. Cousins, pressure coming late, throws, and it is complete to Westbrook. Short game. Out across the 30.
Oh, he's got Justin Jefferson wide open. They built that same 3-man bunch to the left side that we saw on the previous play that they called incomplete. Instead of breaking out, Justin Jefferson broke in. I think he's over there. You see him. He's telling him, he's saying, Coach, I was wide open. Take a look here at Justin Jefferson. They're playing, you see all the outside leverage. They want to protect the boundary. Well, when you have timeouts remaining, you got to protect the whole field. If he catches that ball, he might come out the back end and have a shot. Missed that one.
So a 3rd down and 3, 1 timeout left, 20 seconds to go. Cousins near side, incomplete for Westbrook. And now to bring up 4th down, and I wonder if Rodgers comes back out from the tunnel. Right?
I think he left a little early.
I mean,
he's still doing a meet and greet with local law enforcement, or whether he's going to come out and take this potential final play.
Aaron. Calling Aaron.
Nope. Love's probably going to take a knee, I would assume.
I'm going to assume that as well. What a wacky final 30 seconds, right? A lot happened there. Now the punt just looking to avoid a block, get it away, no one back. And right into our parabolic mic. There you go. That's why. Pam, look out down there. Pam Oliver had to jump out of the way. That was close. There you go. While we say hello to Pam, we remind you that Saturday we have the game. I mean, you talk about the ultimate rivalry. Number 4 Ohio State, number 6 Michigan, both peaking at the right time. Big noon Saturday game of the week. 10 Eastern, our coverage with Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. The game Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. See C.J. Stroud yesterday for Ohio State, 6 touchdown passes. I think he had all 6 in the first 4 minutes of the game, too. All right, so pretty good first half from Minneapolis. The Vikings jumping out to a 16-3 lead, but the Packers with a big drive at the end of the half to make it a game. See Cousins and Rodgers, most of that from Rodgers coming on that final drive when he hit Jaguara for the touchdown, and a good old-fashioned NFC North showdown with the first place Packers and the Vikings. First half stats brought to you by State Farm with a 16-10 score at the break, as we'll send you to the halftime show. A lot going on around the league. Kurt and the guys will take you through that. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive as we welcome you back to Minneapolis. Good first half where the Vikings have a 16-10 lead over the Packers. We get set for this third quarter and we say hello. Greg Olsen, Pro Bowl tight end, is my partner, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. You said when we started the broadcast the Vikings' identity's got to be down the field, getting their big play guys like Jefferson and Cook. They've accomplished that so far.
Yeah, I think the first half is exactly that. We saw it a little bit last week, and it kind of caught fire and led to their big win over Los Angeles. And they've done it through the first half against a very good Green Bay defense coming in. So continue to feed Dalvin Cook. I know the yards aren't huge, but his impact, what he does now, defending him, opens up some of the downfield shots and the success we've seen with Jefferson.
Yeah, Jefferson over 100 yards. When you talk about the performance of Kirk Cousins, well, he's been really, really good. I mean, really all year he's been good. 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But how about this? We showed you the last 3 quarterbacks and how good this Packers D has been. They've shut them down. Today, Cousins, look at that rating, 144.4. He's got 162 yards and a touchdown. And Minnesota starts this third quarter with the ball. Cousins to throw it on first down, has time over the middle. Conklin, the tight end, has a first down and a gain of 15 as we go down to Pam.
Boots for the Packers, obviously getting that touchdown to end the half, and I asked Matt LaFleur, how do you try to build on that? How do you get the offense really clicking? He said, it's going to be hard. We're in too many second and longs. We're not running the ball well, and we just have to do better overall. Defensively, he said, well, they're good offense, and there are certain things we're going to give up, and we have to shore certain things up. As for Mike Zimmer, he told me there were a couple things on defense that he screwed up offensively, some things over the top he was happy about. Running the ball better, he said, is key.
Yeah, Pam, and to that point, you know, they have run the ball. They've efforted it. That was the 11th carry for Cook, but only 25 yards. So Green Bay's done a nice job containing him.
We have, but so much of that commitment to the run game is directly tied to the ability to pass the ball downfield and the defenses that you can throw at them. So I don't know, I'm not going to be surprised to see them continue to stay committed to this run because it goes hand in hand with the downfield passing game.
They do stay committed, and Cook kind of moves his way and trips his way to a first down. He's into Green Bay territory as they continue to stay with that run.
Now, there's really 2 schools of thought, right? Some people believe that the run game opens up the pass. But what we're starting to see nowadays in the NFL is the ability to throw the ball downfield. You can pass your way to have the ability to run. If Green Bay feels like they're getting taken advantage of down the field and they go to some of these too high looks, that's when Dalvin Cook starts going.
Fake. Here's Jefferson who gets it on the flip. Looking for some room, has to cut back inside, and really a nice play by Devondre Campbell to prevent a huge play.
What makes Justin Jefferson so unique is we've seen him today line up in so many different spots. Here he's in a cut split. Here he's in a more traditional X receiver, you know, the single side. Here was the formation, the 2-man bunch with him and Thielen on the long completion that set up the touchdown. It's hard for a defense to bracket. It's hard for a defense to cloud a receiver, meaning double team him, when you don't know where he's going to be in the formation.
Get it out to Thielen, who's got a couple of blockers. Sprinting to the edge is Thielen. Nicely done on the design. Got a block from Conklin and Herndon. And it'll be a 3rd down and 1.
It's the second time we've seen that play. It's a very good design. He's got the 3-man bunch to the left that he can throw out there with blockers for Thielen. And then they send Dalvin Cook on kind of a flare screen to the right. And all Kirk Cousins is doing, he's dividing the field in half. Where does he feel like he has the numbers? And he just spits the ball out to the side where he feels he has the advantage.
Each team is 50% on 3rd downs today. Here is Cook looking to get outside. 1st down inside the 35, and Dalvin Cook picks up 5. He needed just 1, and the drive continues.
Not a lot of teams that use a traditional fullback. You're going to see number 30 here, C.J. Ham. Gets a really nice block on the outside. That's what's kind of spurks there, get that ball through. It's kind of a dying breed. You know, you see a few guys scattered around the league, but Minnesota's committed to using a traditional fullback. See him still in the game here. Not a lot of teams use this formation.
Cousins a throw. This time Ham blocks. Cousins going deep. There's no one there. And that looked like it was almost intended for Stokes, who had a beat on it. Osborne was the receiver.
And Stokes has given him he's given Green Bay a really quality first half of this season. For a rookie, they've had some injuries. Jair Alexander, they lost early to injury. They tried to start Isaac Yiadom. He kind of got benched after a few plays in that Chicago game. He's had a really good start to his career here in Green Bay, and he's played some meaningful reps in this secondary.
Leaders here today. Adam Thielen has a touchdown catch, his 8th of the year as well. There's Jefferson in the backfield, and now he's motioning out. Now it's Cook right up the gut with room and a 1st down. So now they use Jefferson in another way, just to go off your point, and open up a hole for Cook, and he's got 13 yards.
Yeah, watch Adrian Amos. When he comes out in the motion, watch him leave the box. You got 5 blockers. They got 5. Pitch and catch. Now, if Amos doesn't go out, they have an entire new element of the play outside. Good play design.
Here is Cook, one-on-one outside, and Henry Black is there to shove him out of bounds, but Cook down to the 15. As the Vikings on this opening drive of this 3rd quarter looking good and taking it down the field. Some creative play calling by Clint Kubiak, who has been here with Minnesota the last couple of years as quarterback coach, but now takes over offensive coordinator duties this year from his dad, Gary Kubiak. And we talked to Kirk Cousins a lot about that relationship. More after this. 10th play of this drive. Get it to Madison, who's in the game. And he's going to be short. It'll be a 3rd down and 1. And so Clint Kubiak takes over for Gary. You had a similar experience at Carolina when Norv Turner was there, and then Scott Turner, his son, took over.
Yeah, and so often the son of a legendary play caller, right? Gary Kubiak, Norv Turner. The son owes a lot of what they know, a lot of their experience to their fathers, and they've kind of taken a lot of the elements their fathers have implemented. But there's also a degree of being different, right? We see the game different. You see the field different. And I think Clint Kubiak's trying to find that balance between doing what they did with his father and also putting his stamp on this offense and developing a rapport with Kirk Cousins.
On a 3rd and 1, did Minnesota call a timeout here? They did. Okay. So they call their first timeout of this second half. Gives us a chance to tell you about Thanksgiving Day, which you know about Thanksgiving Day, but I guess what I mean is tell you about the game that's on. A Fox tradition continues, of course, coming together for the big holiday, and then some football. Bears take on the Lions. Coverage begins. Fox NFL pregame show at 10:30 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And then after us, you like football? This is a great game. Next game, pretty darn good too. Cowboys and Chiefs. And 2 of the Titans so far in this game. Chiefs look back to their old selves on Monday night, and Dallas just obliterated Atlanta last week.
Well, we were there for that one, and it got ugly pretty quick.
3rd down and 1. Minnesota goes jumbo formation with an extra lineman and an extra tight end. And they're going to run it right up the middle with Cook, who's got a 1st down. The big guy's getting it done, and Cook makes it a 1st and goal.
The left guard, Ezra Cleveland, we talked about him on the goal line. Watch the combination block. Look at him get to the second level, Devondre Campbell. We said it earlier on the goal line play. There's one guy that has to win on every run for it to be successful. And they seem to think Ezra Cleveland's that guy because he's won a lot.
Cook, right side, and wrestled down rather quickly by Dean Lowry. Vikings have excelled here today. They were 7th in the NFL in red zone offense coming in. They're 2 of 2 scoring touchdowns today. And just remember, this Packers D, 3rd in the league, yes, but playing without Rashawn Gary today. Playing without Whitney Merciless, who tore his bicep out for the year. You already know that Jair Alexander and Zadarius Smith has been out for a good portion of this season. They've held their own to this point, especially against the run. Madison in there in the backfield now. Cousins going to swing it out to Madison. Dangerous pass. Wow. That was well covered. Tipa Nalii was there on the coverage. He got called up from the practice squad this week.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins thinks he's hot here. He feels this pressure. He doesn't realize that the end's going to peel. Great job here. He's rushing, and then he's going to peel to the back. The crowd thinks he got there a little early.
Oh, he did. It was close, but he did.
It's a home crowd. It's a home crowd.
Well, come on. They're not going to cheer it.
I think it's a good no call.
3rd down and goal. Pressure picked up. Cousins over the middle. Caught for the touchdown. Justin Jefferson.
The same 2 guys, but this time Justin Jefferson is in the backfield. Now he's going to run the option route that we saw Adam Thielen run earlier. And in essence turns into the exact same combination except flipped. The previous touchdown, Thielen ran the option. This time it's Jefferson out of the backfield.
Well, you showed us all the different places he's lined up, and then on this drive they put him in the backfield multiple times, and it really paid off. A monster drive to open the second half for the Vikings. 14 plays, 75 yards, and then getting gritty with it. That's his dance. 23-10 by the Vikings, and they moved Justin Jefferson in the backfield a few snaps. One of them led to a big run by Cook, and then of course he completes the drive with the touchdown. What a big couple weeks he's had, huh? 143 yards last week, 113 yards this week, and a touchdown, and Minnesota back up by 13 here in the 3rd.
We mentioned before all the places they can line him up. Well, here he's in the backfield, and slightly off your screen, you're going to see number 41, Henry Black's going to come down. That's a safety versus the best player on the field on a 2-way go. Outside leverage, you go in.
That's the gritty.
There'll be times at dinner where my kids all of a sudden will get up from the table and they start like grittying around. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, this is Justin Jefferson's dance. We see it on Fortnite. Now I'm watching it unfold in front of me in live television.
There you go. Rodgers and the Packers. What's their answer to Dillon, who has some room for the first time today, really? Gets across the 30, and he's got a nice 7-yard run. We'll give him 8 on first down, but another penalty flag.
Holding. Offense, number 74. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
It bears mentioning again, the roles are completely reversed today. You're talking Green Bay, the fewest penalties in the league. Minnesota, 2nd worst. And today, Green Bay has gotten killed with penalties. It's their 7th.
You're going to see Jenkins right here. He's just got his left arm kind of wrapped around him. Anytime you're on the edge, it's so easy. Sometimes the inside, the center, and the guards, they get away with that. Tackles, anybody on the edge. It's just so easy for the official to see it.
A lot of 1st and 20s today for the Packers.
They overcame the last one. See if they can do it again.
4-man rush. Rodgers is going to dump it off to Dillon. Turns around, straight ahead he goes, out across the 25, and picks up a nice little gain. Put him up at the 28-yard line. Get that back and then some with 13 yards. By the way, we told you Patrick Peterson went off the field in that first half. It didn't come back. He's back in now. Right there. Thanks, Greg, against Adams. Rodgers, late blitz coming, picked up, going that way towards Adams. Makes the catch against Peterson, has a first down. So they do pick up that 1st and 20. Out to the 40 he goes for gain of 12.
Such a big element of playing running back. Can you pick up pressure? Eric Hendricks is going to pull. Dillon's going to take the inside half. It's really well executed. It gives Rodgers the time to work the ball outside. Rodgers has time playing Davante Adams one-on-one. I know Patrick Peterson's a heck of a player, but if you don't get home on your pressure, Rodgers is going to find a guy to work with.
On the fake, Adams wide open, they get it to him. Makes the catch, room to run. First down and more, and into Vikings territory. Inside the 45, they'll put him at the 43, 17 more for Adams.
Hard play action. This is the hide route you're going to bring. Typically, it's a tight end or an offset back. This time, it's a wide receiver. His speed, they have a defender out there. I promise you during the week in practice, that guy was covered. He's alerting, he's tapping his head, he's alerting to it. Sometimes a tight end or a back coming across not quite as fast, but Davante Adams can outflank the defense.
Dillon up the middle, and inside the 40 he goes. Pick up 5 more yards.
Both offensives have come out in this second half and really kind of found their rhythm. Mix of run and pass. Both quarterbacks have started strong here in the second half. Let's see if Rodgers can answer the previous touchdown drive led by Kirk Cousins.
Fake to Dillon this time. Rodgers loading up, doesn't see anything, looking to run, he will. He's got a first down and more. Rodgers sliding down near the 20.
Again, they played a real soft zone, too high shell. They just brought 4. Nowhere to go with the ball, but Rodgers is, for his whole career, is such a good athlete. The plays he's made, we saw it on the touchdown to DeGuara early. He can run to run, he can run to pass. That element of his game is what makes him so unique and such a historically great player.
Picked up 18, even with that toe injury. 1st and 10. Fake to Taylor. St. Brown comes around the other side, gets a block from Daphne. Good move. Equanimous St. Brown will get down to the 10. We'll have a 1st and goal. He made a great move on Xavier Woods.
Great move, and they kind of answered. You saw Minnesota came out. They had their little version of the reverse. Green Bay's giving them a taste of their own medicine. This was a little more successful than Minnesota's. Dominique Daphne, 49s, leading the way. You mentioned it. Xavier Rhodes kind of whiffed on the tackle. Both these play callers are finding their groove right now.
First and goal. Rodgers all day, can't find anyone. Loads up, fires, caught for the touchdown. Davante Adams for Green Bay.
It's another scramble drill. He's hard to beat when you don't get home. The play action slows the coverage. Now watch Davante Adams. He sees his quarterback's in trouble. Redirect. Rodgers directing traffic, saying, go back, go back. He had his eyes on Davante Adams the entire time. He was throwing the ball to him. He was just waiting for the green light to pull the trigger.
Extra point by Crosby is up, and that is good. So, Minnesota comes out punching. Green Bay answers with an uppercut of their own, and Rodgers to Adams. A familiar combo. Close one here in Minnie. Davante Adams with that touchdown now has the most scores all time against the Vikings, his 11th career. And Rodgers Had all day to throw it. Dropped into coverage, and he found him. How about the 6 touchdowns in the last 3 games? And another answer. Minnesota comes out with that long 14-play drive to open the third quarter, back up by 13. Green Bay goes right down the field themselves, as Minnesota will take over. We go downstairs to Pam Oliver.
Every play is a fight. Those were Mike Zimmer's words this week as he described going up against Aaron Rodgers. Zimmer told us this week the Vikings had to do things differently than they have every other week. Hopefully, we can confuse him defensively, show him a look, and give him another. Zimmer's no novice. He's often credited with having one of the best defensive minds in football, but this guy tests him every time.
It's been fun to watch today. There's no doubt about it. And now it's Kirk Cousins' turn, who's back to throw. He's going to air it out. Looking for Thielen. It is nearly intercepted. Savage, who had one nullified by a penalty earlier, had his hands on that one, but it falls incomplete.
Great job by Darnell Savage getting back there. And I think if Thielen doesn't go and become the defender, that's a pick. Much better job not letting the ball behind you. You see Savage locate it. Thielen kind of turned into the DB there, punching it out, or else that's a pick. Really well defended there by Green Bay. Darnell Savage back there.
Pressure. Cousins gets rid of it in time, and again, it is Jefferson. He's always open. He's got another first down for Minnesota in a huge afternoon. 21 more.
This is just straight man. He's just going to win his one-on-one versus Chandon Sullivan. A little push off with that right arm to get separation. You don't see him play man a ton. We've talked a lot about this zone match that they play, but going to put him in the slot. He's going to get your nickel corner. It's typically your third best cover guy.
Here's Cook bursting out the middle, and he's somehow squirts through at the end of it all with nearly an 8-yard run. I'll tell you, this Justin Jefferson's pretty incredible. I mean, a rookie record in the NFL last year with 1,400 yards, 7 TDs. Came into today with 775 yards and 4 TDs, and he's already up to 134 yards receiving and a touchdown. I mean, you can make an argument he might be the best one of all, I mean, right now.
If you were picking a receiver to start on your team today and you had him forever, do you pick him, his age, his productivity?
Hard to say no. And the thing is this, I know we talked about, meeting him this week and all the people, what they say around here, and people in Minnesota know this. But I thought the coolest thing is we're Zooming with him, and your kids are in the background, and they were going crazy like, hey, Justin, you tell it.
They love him. I mean, when they found out that I was going to do a conference call with Justin Jefferson, that was more important to them than Tom Brady and Rodgers. Kids love him. He's relatable. He's fun. He's energetic. He's dancing. He's a gamer. I mean, he's just a really fun guy, young player, and one of the best in the position regardless of age.
3rd and 1 here again. Fake on the flip. Cousins sees Conklin, gets it to him, first down. Barnes is there on the tackle, but not before Conklin picked up 5 in the first.
It's similar to what we just saw with Davante Adams. It's traditionally the tight end who does these hides off the play action. Conklin just comes behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to see him. He's going to motion in. He's going to come out the back door. That defensive end is expecting to be cut. He avoids him. Nice job slipping the defender to not get knocked off his route. Really well done.
Madison in the game in the backfield. Faked him. Pressure coming from Smith. Cousins gets rid of his floater. And Thielen almost made an insane one-handed catch. Credit that to Preston Smith, who was bearing down on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and he would have bared down even earlier. C.J. Ham just bailed out Luke Stocker. Take a look here. He is going to get... Luke Stocker gets beat quick by Preston Smith. He just aborts his fake and comes. Preston Smith gets home. But if C.J. Ham doesn't just take that edge off, that's a blindside potential strip. Really good awareness there by the fullback, C.J. Ham.
2019 Pro Bowler. Madison. And can't get outside. Packers all over it. Tipa Nalia, he's making some plays here in this second half. And again, with Rashawn Gary out, with Whitney Merciless out, Nalia is getting a chance here. First-year man out of Utah State. It's only his second game, played one game last year. But, you know, you're pressed into duty with all the injuries. That's a pretty good one. Brings up 3rd and 10. Jefferson in motion. 4-man rush. Pressure coming. Sacked. Ball is loose on the ground. And who's got it? Minnesota recovers, but that time Preston Smith did get home with the big hit. He just missed 2 plays ago. That time he got home. It'll force a Minnesota punt. Third quarter all over. Preston Smith made 2 huge plays on that series. One prevented a deep connection to Adam Thielen, and that on 3rd down. Minnesota recovered, but it's a big play to sack on the forced fumble, and it forces a punt as they were moving. Kirk Cousins saying this is our game. But a stop by Smith with all these pass rushers hurt for Green Bay. He's had 2 sacks today. And high kick. They're going to stay away. Green Bay will have a long way to go to start this drive. In the 4th quarter, Packers football down by 6, and Rodgers on the field next.
In rushing touchdowns.
It's a good one. We thought it would be. These 2 rivals usually play tight games. Vikings up by 6. And this is the problem with Minnesota. They come in at 4-5. They've been winning every game by at least 7 points. They just haven't closed. Now's their opportunity, and they really need it if they have any chance at winning the division. Certainly they're in the playoff picture right now. Packers the #1 team in the NFC as we speak today. Going to start with A.J. Dillon, who makes a nice cut and surges forward to give him some breathing room, as Dillon is going to have a gain of 8. And so it's interesting. The last couple times we've been talking about this chess match with Mike Zimmer and Aaron Rodgers. Last couple of times the pressure maybe looks like it's going to come, but then he backs off.
And you got to think at some point here in the 4th quarter, some of those looks, he actually brings the pressure. We've seen Aaron Rodgers extend the play because 4-man rush isn't getting home. He's allowed to scramble, drill, and extend the play. Do they bring some pressure and try to get to him?
That's what his view is right now. They're going to run it to Dillon, right side. He's got a 1st down. So Dillon, you know, they stayed with him in the absence of Aaron Jones. You know, he's been playing a lot, but being the guy today, 9 carries, 40 yards. He's caught 5 balls for 35 yards. And you asked me today on the car ride over, is he going to be able to pick up the blitz on all these complicated schemes? What do you think so far?
I think he has. I think in that regard, I think he's done a great job. Right? Aaron Jones, is typically the 3rd down back, the pickup of the protection guy. Dillon's done a great job filling in. He's been a little slow, had a few runs here and there. See if they can get him going on this drive.
Harrison Smith on the blitz. Dillon trying to pick him up. Can't do it! And Smith gets home. Sheldon Richardson was there too, and Elton Jenkins is hurt. The left tackle.
You're going to see Elton Jenkins right here. He's going to set back. Not sure what happened to him. He kind of got rolled up. Hope he's okay.
Big sack, Minnesota. Concern for Jenkins. Well, this is unfortunate. Elton Jenkins, who's been a star for them, especially filling in for Bakhtiari, and he grabs his left knee here. It's hard to tell. You just hope he's okay. He's been a star anywhere they've played him as a Packer. Filling in for David Bakhtiari, not yet back from an ACL. So now it's Josh Nijman, who did make 3 starts on the left side this year. He's going to set it up to Dillon on the left side, try to get some yards back after that sack. And he does a good job of that. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd down.
And it's just a shame. Elton Jenkins, you talk to these coaches, they can't say enough great things about what he's brought to this team. You mentioned filling in for Bakhtiari, the all-pro left tackle, got hurt last year. He can play center, he can play guard, and now, hey, you need to go play left tackle, and he's done a great job. You got to hope he's okay.
Green Bay, 4 of 8 on 3rd down.
Do they bring pressure here, KB, or do they continue to bluff and bail? They got the two A-gaps. Barr and Kendricks are right here.
They do bring pressure. Rogers sees it, unloads, and it is held onto by Adams. Wow. Kendricks delivered a hit, so did Woods. Adams held on. It's a first down.
We got a coffee house blitz here. He's going to fake like he's dropping, and he's going to come. A.J. Dillon starts to look away, and then he sees him late. Bang. Great blitz pickup by Dillon. We were just talking about it. What a catch. Not all catches are created equal, KB. That catch, you earned that one.
You know, we were talking about Justin Jefferson before and how great he is as a young player. Well, Davante Adams said, you don't forget about me.
Yeah, he's...
I got 6 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown for him today. 2 greats playing in this game. Rogers on the fake, and he's going to get it out for a completion, and a big completion nonetheless to St. Brown, who turns on the speed into Minnesota territory.
I mean, this is Aaron Rodgers just being creative. They're going to run a hide. He's going to come and delay. Watch St. Brown just find that pocket. The little slight pump fake gets Barr to leave his feet, buys him time. Gets it to St. Brown. Watch the pump. Gets the ball to St. Brown in that little pocket. Run after catch.
Greg, he's only got 3 catches on the year. He's 2 for 44 today. He's had 2 big ones. That one turned a big gain from nothing, 27 yards, and the Packers in business. Taylor in the backfield gets it on the pitch. Tries to get to the edge behind the block of Turner. And he's inside the 35, down to the 33. Let's go downstairs to Pam Oliver.
Well, while we wait for word on Elton Jenkins, I can tell you Mercedes Lewis, he's been on the sideline. He had his shoe off for a while. He is coming back in. Of course, he's huge for them as far as blocking, and he's back in.
Oh, it's a great point, Pam, right? With Jenkins going down, he's their big blocking guy. And you know what? Now he just went back out, so DeGuara comes in for him.
Yeah, and another guy you got to give some credit who's not playing today, Alan Lazard. He's a wide receiver, but he's filled in a little of that big body receiver, edge blocker. Don't really have that guy. Tunyon's out. Lazard is out.
Rogers gets it off to Valdez-Scantling and gets the move down close to a first down. Looks like he'll have it. We'll see where they spot him down. I guess Marquez Valdez-Scantling would like to go to officiating school.
Yeah, he felt he got it, but they're going to rule him short.
3rd down and less than 1. They're down by 6. You'd have to think this is 2-down territory, right?
Yeah, Matt LaFleur is in Rogers' ear. He's saying, you got 2 downs to get this, man. You got 2 downs here. We're not bringing the kicking unit on the field by any stretch.
3rd and 1, a little flip. The option to Dillon's going to work like a charm. Randall Cobb on the option to Dillon and picks up the first down. What a play that was.
On your game plan, you have certain have-to-have-it plays. He's going to hand the ball to Cobb, and then he becomes the option quarterback with Dillon on the unblocked player. On a play caller's play sheet, they have critical situations. 3rd and short, 4th and short, goal-to-go situations, 2-point conversions. He had that play in his bag the entire week, and he dialed it up at the exact right time.
9th play of this drive for Green Bay. Remember, this is made possible by the big Preston Smith sack on 3rd down the other way. Here's Taylor getting a right side and just nowhere to go. Although he turns his legs and gets a couple, as Anthony Barr was there right away. 8.5 minutes to go. Barn burner here in Minneapolis, and that's just a terrible sight as Jenkins gets carted off.
You just can't stress enough in the sport, especially offensive line. Guys don't like playing the same position on the right or the left, let alone left tackle, guard, center. You don't see a lot of players in the NFL have that versatility. It's a shame to see him carted off the field.
2nd down. Rogers blitz coming, in trouble, gets rid of it to Cobb. It's incomplete. Harrison Smith came on a delayed blitz, and Rodgers aware enough just to get rid of it. 3rd down.
Man, I thought Rodgers could have gotten rid of it. You're going to see they're going to bring Cobb out here. They're going to fake the screen. You're going to see this little pocket in here. He's got St. Brown. Just doesn't quite pull the trigger fast enough. Maybe he feels Harrison Smith's too close, but he does a great job getting rid of it.
Third down, another blitz coming. Rodgers sees it, fires. Adams is open for the touchdown. There's a penalty flag back by the line of scrimmage. There seems to be some confusion. Now let's unload all this. Vikings are saying Green Bay called timeout.
Rodgers started to call timeout, Kevin, as the ball was being snapped. See what they rule.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
They didn't award him the touchdown.
Roughing the passer, defense number 96. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Though the quarterback turned around to attempt to call timeout, the ball had already been snapped. There was no timeout granted.
Wow. You could tell that Rodgers didn't have the ball, right? You could tell he kind of caught it late. Well, it's because he had turned and started to signal timeout. And he gets taken to the ground and dumped.
That's the part at the end there. You can't fall with your full body weight on him. That's why it's a penalty.
It's really the Rodgers rule, right? We saw Anthony Barr do that to him a few years back and broke his collarbone.
Now the extra point for the lead as Crosby is up and good. What a turn of events. Rodgers wanted a timeout. They didn't give it to him. Takes a snap at the last second and hits Davante Adams for 18 yards. His second touchdown of the day. Wow. Back and forth we go. The Packers up by one. A lot of time left for Minneapolis.
By Bud Light Seltzer, if you drink, don't drive, decide to ride. And by USAA, an official insurance sponsor of the NFL.
Man, oh man, what a game. Davante Adams with touchdowns on back-to-back drives. That one comes on third down. Rodgers called a timeout, didn't get it, and throws a touchdown to Adams on a great route. And now after the penalty, they kind of pooch kick it here. And Wangu takes it for Minnesota. So how did he get open? What about that part of the play?
So you're going to see we're going to get a post. And then what a common play here is in the NFL is a little under route. Well, he's going to fake it. He's got Mackenzie Alexander, the slot receiver, the slot nickel, on the receiver. Once he sits his feet down with that chatter, he's got no chance. We've talked about Justin Jefferson aligning in the slot, moving him around. Well, in that case, by putting Davante Adams as the inside number 2 receiver, he draws the nickel Alexander. It's a great matchup.
Now the Vikings turn to answer. 7:45 to go in a one-point game. Cousins looking to throw. Pressure coming, trying to set up a screen, and it's incomplete. Cook could not hold on. That's his 5th drop of the year. It's been a little bit of an issue. We've got another game break. Let's go to Carissa Thompson.
Oh, it's a good one here in Carolina. You guys have a great game, too. But Cam Newton passes to Christian McCaffrey for this 27-yard score. It's Cam's 3rd total touchdown of the day. Carolina ties it up. It's the 3rd tie of the day. A lot of back and forth here. Kevin?
Carissa, first time the Packers have had the lead here since 3-0. Second down, 4-man rush. Cousins has a man. Osborne has to catch for a first down. He's out to the 40 and picks up 15.
It's probably the 3rd or 4th time we've seen this concept now. It's a deep corner. It's a shallow corner. You see Thielen and a little flat. They put 3 layers. We saw it on the Jefferson touchdown. This time Osborne gets thrown down to the boundary. It's the go-to play here in Minnesota. I'll tell you what.
It seems to be working, right?
At some point, you got to guard it.
Here is Dalvin Cook looking for room up the middle. And again, the Vikings staying with the run, but Green Bay's done a nice job on Cook. It's his 19th carry of the day, and he's under 65 yards.
Saw Osborne make that nice last catch. I thought it was interesting talking with Kirk Cousins this week. He said, Adam Thielen gets a lot of the credit and he gets a lot of the targets. Obviously, Justin Jefferson. He goes, I go out of my way to make sure Osborne knows I see you, right? I see you working. Keep working for me because you're going to get your chances. Sometimes you're the third read. Well, we saw in the last one, he was the first read, and he came through.
Pressure coming. Cousins gets rid of it. Jefferson catches it right at the first down and absorbs the hit from King, too, and that'll be enough to move the chains. Jefferson's got his 6th catch of the day. Up over 140 yards for him now. Boy, he and Adams are putting on a show. You want to talk about star wide receivers in this game? Adams with 2 touchdowns, 115 yards. Jefferson with a touchdown. And that was before the last catch. Now it's 6 for 140. Stars on display. First down, Minnesota. 5:50 to go. Cook again runs into a wall. Kenny Clark was there. Had some help as well from Burks.
Justin Jefferson this week talked a lot about how much he emulates Davante Adams' his game, his approach. The thing he said he loves the most that he's been studying is his releases. Anybody who's watched Davante Adams, if you play off of him, he's going to kill you. If you get up in his face, his ability to move off the line and win in the first 5 yards. And Davante Adams had a lot of really nice things to say about Justin Jefferson in return.
And we get a whistle. Green Bay has called their first timeout of the half. So each team now with 2 timeouts. The final 5:11 to go. And we'll hear this now from KFC and Bud Light Seltzer.
This holiday season, remember the trick. The one that lets you skip the line and get your finger-licking chicken finger-licking quick.
It's finger-licking quick.
Oh, Bud Light Seltzer Retro Tie-Dye?
Have you tried these yet?
Bud Light Seltzer Retro Tie-Dye, the loudest flavors ever.
Thielen doing his normal work today. Touchdown, his 8th of the year. Jefferson, we just showed you, 140 and a touchdown. And you just have a feeling it's what quarterback's going to have the ball last, right? I mean, that's the way, especially this half has gone. It seemed like every time Minnesota's ready to throw the big knockout, Aaron Rodgers says, oh no, not ready for that one. And now Green Bay has the lead. Jefferson running around in the backfield to get it out to Thielen. Gets a couple of blocks. Thielen has a first down. So that time Jefferson the decoy. Thielen does the dirty work and moves the chains again.
Yeah, all that motion, right? It's window dressing. It's put your eyes over here, and we're going to go over here. It seems simple, but it's all very specific. It's all very purposeful. Both these play callers, Kubiak, LaFleur, this second half has been an offensive gem.
Cousins taps it going deep, incomplete. Osborne was the intended receiver, but Stokes was on him like glue.
Nice coverage here by Stokes. Try to get him on a double move with Osborne, but he does a nice job getting back into position, getting his head. It looks like Osborne came up a little slow there. Just talking about how much they value him. Kirk Cousins told us on a lot of other teams he'd probably be a 2, maybe a 1. He just so happens to be behind 2 really good players.
Now the Packers line up in a double-A blitz, kind of Mike Zimmer-esque. They back off. Cousins pumps, now throws, has a completion. Thielen, what a move, but then nothing else there as Campbell was in his way. And so it'll bring up a big third down with just over 4 minutes left. You know, Campbell's funny. He's had such a good year. They signed him so late, just a $2 million deal. And he lives in Minnesota. He went to the University of Minnesota, so we're like, what's that like? He said, well, I get it all the time. We like you, but we're sorry, we can't root for you.
Absolutely. Talking about an impressive guy to talk to. Talking to him this week.
Who's going to make a play? 3rd and 3. Cousins, quick strike. Thielen, who is tackled immediately. It's close. I think he got it, and now the signal is he does. Stokes hit him right away, but Thielen got enough depth on the route to move the chains again.
He caught that ball right on the yard to gain. They just ran a two-man slant. You're going to see Thielen catches it. Yep, good, right on the 30-yard line. If you're a Packers fan, you could say he's 6 inches short, but they gave it to him nonetheless.
And it's real close. But they give it to him on the field, and the drive continues. 10th play of it for the Vikings. They will run to Cook. Stutter step, back up the middle, good run inside the 25. And a 7-yard run for Dalvin Cook. They continue to stay with Cook, even though every run has been hard to come by.
Now the clock becomes a huge factor, KB. They're trying to run this down. You don't want to get too conservative and settle for a field goal or anything. You're trying to go take the lead with a touchdown, but you're also playing the clock, right? You got a 2-minute warning coming up. You don't want to give Aaron Rodgers this ball with any more time than you have to. So there's a little gamesmanship here without losing your aggressiveness to go score.
Second down, pressure up the middle. Cousins just unloads it. There was Campbell, who came untouched up the middle and brings up another 3rd down.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what's going on here. You can't let an A-gap linebacker just run right up the gut. Traditionally, there's what they call hard calls, where the guard will make a call. He'll tap his hip, and we're just going to step down, step down. You always want to protect from the inside out. For whatever reason, Cleveland and Darisaw both fan to the left, and Cousins is lucky he got rid of that ball.
Just keep in mind, each kicker has missed today. Crosby missed a short field goal, and Joseph missed an extra point. This would be a 41-yard field goal from here, but first to 3rd and 3. Down by 1, pressure coming. Cousins deck, throws it up for Jefferson. He's got it, and he is in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Green Bay brought pressure. They brought 3 guys up the middle. They got a free hitter. Savage can't quite get there, and the guy we've talked about all day comes up with a big, big play. We're going to go for 2. Try to make this a 7-point game. Wow.
Unbelievable. Give it to Cook. Tries to sprint to the edge. He'll get there. And the Vikings on a 3rd down go to Justin Jefferson, who's got 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. What an afternoon. Minnesota back in front, but time for Aaron Rodgers with 2:17 left. Big time finish coming for Minnesota. He was born, but he pretty much was born at LSU. He's just continued to get better in the NFL. Look at his day on 3rd down. A big touchdown in the 2, and Minnesota by 7 with 2:17 to go and 2 timeouts for Rodgers in Green Bay. This game has been great. And then coming up, how about this one for America's Game of the Week? Dak and the Cowboys, Mahomes and the Chiefs. Some will see the Cardinals against the Seahawks. Check your local listings right here on Fox, the Fox Sports app. So let's set it up. 2:17 to play. Rodgers down by 7 with Green Bay, has 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. So it comes down to, will Minnesota get a stop on D? Here we go. Blitz coming. Rodgers floats one. Valdez-Scantling in stride, trying to get to the end zone. He's going to go. A bomb to Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Green Bay. Holy cow. And now an extra point away from the tie.
We talked whether Mike Zimmer was going to bring pressure, Kev, and they did. And it was blocked up. They brought both Kendricks and Barr up the middle on a little twist stunt. Valdez-Scantling beats his man. What a game.
Extra point is up, and it is good. For those of you who just saw the 49ers beat the Jaguars, this game has been tremendous. It's been back and forth in this second half, and now Rodgers on the bomb, 75 yards to Valdez-Scantling. Greg.
You're going to see the inside pick stunt here. A.J. Dillon picks him up. Look, they got all three guys blocked. Now the back-end secondary is exposed. Xavier Woods chasing from behind. Again, it's a safety on a wide receiver. They're not counting on the quarterback having time to hit that ball. But when you pick up the blitz stunt as well as Green Bay did, wow. Lucas Patrick, John Runyon, A.J. Dillon, they passed that three-man stunt, Kev, as good as it gets.
Oh, this is fun. Well, we told you about the time that Green Bay had left, so now you flip the script in Minnesota with 2:08 left and 2 timeouts. Career-long catch by Valdez-Scantling for 75 yards. I mean, if you just turned this on, and you got to kind of cool him down, and you just flipped on the game, you came from another audience, this has really been fun. Minnesota looked like they had a chance to kind of run away with this early, but both quarterbacks have played great. Jefferson has been awesome. Adams has been great for Green Bay. Also 2 touchdowns for him. And again, Minnesota, that's been their MO all year. They've led by at least a touchdown in every game, but they've had trouble finishing, and now's their chance to change that story. Plenty of time and a penalty flag. Multiple flags.
12 men on the defense in formation with a snap imminent. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Yeah, Shannon Sullivan was in the box. He's typically their nickel corner, and see him just jog off the field. I mean, they didn't just have 12 guys on the field. They had 12 guys like lined up, ready to play. Not sure how that happens coming out of a break.
Fake. Cousins has a lot of time. Airing it out deep for Jefferson. It's intercepted! Savage has it! One too many times for Jefferson as Savage was ready. Darnell Savage now puts the Packers with a chance to win it. 2-minute warning.
Sandwiches for $4 at Burger King.
So this is an automatic review because they ruled interception on the field, but we're looking at it in the break, and it's certainly
How much?
It certainly looks like he did not finish this catch, which would mean it's an incomplete and not an interception. But why ask me? Let's hear the call first, and then we'll go to Dean Blandino.
The pass was incomplete. It was second down. The clock should read 2 minutes and 1 second. We'll run one play and then have the 2-minute warning. Second down, 2-0-1 on the game clock, please.
Dean, do you agree with this call?
I do agree. Savage is going to the ground. There's no football move. He has to maintain control, and we got some really good looks during the break. You're going to see the ball touch the ground, come loose. That's an incomplete pass. If this game wasn't already crazy, it just got a little crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Wild. So the Vikings fans take a breath, say, woo. All right, here we go. 2:01 on the clock. 2 timeouts. Most importantly, their ball. Cousins to throw over the middle, has a completion to first down. There is Jefferson again, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning with Minnesota with plenty of time left. 1:57 to go and 2 timeouts in a tie game. So let's try and recap this game. At this point, it's kind of hard to do in a couple of seconds, but got out to an early lead. Jefferson's been monumental all day. Rodgers, of course, finding old reliable. Davante Adams, this was a beaut. Thought he called timeout, didn't get it granted. They deliver a touchdown. Then Cousins comes back on 3rd down to Jefferson. There's been 5 touchdown passes on 3rd down in this one. And then Rodgers, first play, zing, 75 yards of Valdez-Scantling to tie it all up again. And that's where we sit. 1:57 left in a Viking season where they have had ups and downs, chances to win every single game, but failed to finish on multiple occasions. Greg Olson, take a breath. Hope you're enjoying it. Now the
recap.
I mean,
that's a lot.
Does Minnesota finally finish game? These are the games they've had trouble winning.
They've got to get that monkey off their back. They've got to find a way to win one of these close games. Kirk Cousins has the ball, tie game, under 2 minutes. This is his moment.
Packers show blitz. They come with it. They get rid of it to Cook. Now one-on-one with Barnes. Breaks free. Cook, first down into Green Bay territory. They beat the blitz and move the chains 19 yards.
Great awareness here by Kirk Cousins. He sees Adrian Amos come off the edge. Gets the ball out of his hand. Dalvin Cook does the rest. Gets him into their 2 minute now.
Cousins, some pressure, throws. It's caught! Thielen breaks free, and he's down near the 20. When he let it go, it looked like it could have been picked, but Thielen hauls it in there in field goal range.
Oh my God. Rasul Douglas has it. He actually runs the route for him, and he catches the ball on the backside. Look, he ran past the ball. But what a reaction by Thielen, not only to catch it, but to keep his balance. We've now seen it all. That was incredible.
So, just to give you an idea, of course, Minnesota would love a touchdown here. Greg Joseph, this would be a 37-yard field goal right now. He's missed a game at that distance. He's also won a game with a 50-yarder against Detroit. Cook says, forget that. I'm going to try and score. First down, first and goal.
Really nice job. The best thing Dalvin Cook there did, Kev, stayed in bounds. He went down on purpose. You're going to see him now kind of curl up. He knows it's over. You see him hold the ball with two hands, go down, force Green Bay to take a timeout. Thought maybe on the previous catch by Thielen, I know his head was kind of spinning, catching, keeping his balance. I thought maybe he should have stayed in bounds. Force Green Bay to use what would have been the first of their 2 timeouts. They would have been out after that previous play. But nonetheless, Green Bay can only stop the clock one more time.
So Matt LaFleur in his 3rd year has lost 1 game in the division once. That was to Minnesota last year up at Lambeau. This has been a wild second half, and here's we are, 1:19 to go. Green Bay only 1 timeout. Do you try and let them score if you're the Packers? I don't even know if the Vikings would.
I don't think even let them. I think they just take a knee here.
And they're going to not even get to that point. Don't even run a play. They're just going to take a knee and force Green Bay to use the timeout, which right now they won't use. They've got 1 left, and then it's all on Joseph, as I told you. He's got a field goal today from 51 yards. He missed an extra point today. He missed a 37-yarder to win a game against Arizona, but he hit a 54-yarder to win a game against Detroit. So which Joseph are we going to get here? Guess we'll find out.
We will find out. Kicking has been a little bit of an adventure for both these teams. Joseph has a chance to play hero.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and goal. And they could let this wind. The Packers, nothing they could do, even though they've got a timeout in their pocket. Because even if they stop it, they could take it down to the end anyway. So it's all going to come down to the execution of the kick. Either Minnesota will win, barring something insane, or we'll go to overtime. Minnesota, I guess, will wait till about 4 seconds left. Call a timeout. Kirk Cousins with a big fist pump. It's a heck of a drive to what was nearly an interception. With the Vikings, it always comes down to the last moment. It just does. I mean, you think about final play finish this year, it's kind of hard to believe. Told you about the miss against the Bengals, who win in overtime, and then the Cardinals, right? And the Lions, game winner. They win that game. They find a way to beat the Panthers in overtime. Then they were up 2 touchdowns against the Ravens, and they lost that in overtime. I mean, that's how the Vikings do it. But if they get this, they get back to 500. They're in the race in the north against Green Bay, and they're right in the thick of the playoff picture. And so here we go. Greg Joseph from 29 yards out to be the hero. And LaFleur, the reason he saved that timeout for the icing of the kicker. Think that still works?
I think there's two schools of thought. I think some coaches really believe in it. They feel like it gets in the kicker's head. Other coaches say, lay out, let the normal pace of the game play in. But, I mean, what a turn of events. We're sitting here. Kirk Cousins has the ball to start first play. He throws a pick. It appears in live action that Savage comes up with the interception. Does Minnesota blow it again? Did they lose it again? Call's overturned. Got a chip shot field goal now to win it.
Greg Joseph to win it. He's got it. Vikings a winner. From 29 yards out, still got to put it through the uprights. And Greg Joseph did just that, and the Vikings are back at 500 and a humongous win over the 8-2 Packers.
Kirk Cousins just had a moment. Zimmer's fired up. What a huge win.
What a game. 34-31 Minnesota over Green Bay. For Pam Oliver, Greg Olsen, our entire NFL on Fox crew, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Hope you enjoy that. A lot more football to do.